Yeah!
Whoa!
Welcome everybody to session 4. Session 4. Still level 2, as previously noted just now. Let me get my notes up. Is the music too loud for you guys?
No.
No.
Alright.
Maybe like
So-
a smidge, not even.
I will twist the knob.
Oh, okay.
Boop.
Okay.
There you
Good?
There you go.
Alright, so, having left Tish and the safety of her mine down at the south end of the Crystalline Pass, you've delved deeper through the pass, dealing with Yeti and evading kobolds and slaughtering on either side. Yeti, or of kobolds or you. Dodged some precarious traps, some tripped, some otherwise not. You continued to the end of the pass where you came, where you made yourself have a camp within the cave before you got into the frigid cold that is the frozen north. You traveled for the majority of your first day uninterrupted, just cold, and made a lot of progress given the climate until just before halfway through the trip to Dawn's Cave, you encountered some large wolves that were ridden by some gnolls, and the gnolls themselves seem to be decaying in some way, or necrotic, or otherwise undead. You best them in combat, save your fallen allies from their own deaths, gather your bearings, warm yourselves back up, and the remainder of the day is yours. And typically, right now, it would be... So, typically you'd have like 4, maybe 5 hours of sunset, but the sun is still really high. Higher so than... It doesn't look like it's going to set at the normal, like, 8 p.m. or whatever, 7 p.m. It looks like it's going to set at, like, 10 or 11 tonight.
I figure.
And that's throwing off your sense of time, but you guys are, at this point, very far north. If there's anything you'd like to do as we close the battle with the gnoll and wolves, now's your time to do it.
So is this like some Alaska nonsense where it's going to be light out for like 21 hours a day?
It might be. Right now, it's seeming that the day is going to be longer than you're used to. And this is especially throwing you off because you have a very limited amount of time to do your work.
Yeah.
And this is... You have more time to do your work.
It must be so easy up here in the frigid north.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. That's the conclusion. That's the conclusion you draw.
They've got so much time for choring.
So much time for chores. But yeah, it's still
Too much
like
choring to do.
In actuality, it's like 2:30, 3 o'clock. If you look at just the sun and try to figure out what time it is, it's like at best noon, maybe 11
Did you say it's
a.m.
high noon?
No, maybe 11. I said
Fuck.
so. Not quite high noon.
Okay.
Not quite there.
It's high noon.
We don't do it.
Yep. Just did it. Just
Nope.
happened.
Nope.
There it
We
is.
leave that alone. We leave that where it is.
Mm-hmm.
This is the guy with the McCree tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It still happened.
Anything you guys would like to do as you close the encounter? I believe
Were we?
Zadius. Were they
Were we
both
taking a short
healed?
rest?
I have one. I got one hit.
You
lay
both
on
got
hand
one
hit
hit point.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were gonna do a short rest.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So you can in fact do your short rest.
Hey.
You kept running away and I kept getting the hits.
I-
Wasn't it you?
I did not run away.
Oh, okay. It was you.
I just didn't get hit.
And you should have arcane recovery if you'd like to use it.
Yes.
Yeah, I will also use that to get a single spell slot back.
Wow.
10. I still need to use another
We're
one.
level 2, dude. Calm down.
Min-max. Alright. So I got...
Are those K bears in your shirt?
I should probably.
Yeah.
Nice. Sorry. I like it. I was just like, huh.
Yep.
Alright.
My recovery has arcane.
Nice.
Nice, dude. Nice.
Everybody complete their short rest.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
feeling good.
Past that.
Get this back.
Feeling okay.
Past that, you guys continue on your way to Dawnscape.
Yeah.
You can actually, at this point, make out the frozen shelves, as they're called, to your northeast, because you are close enough to that, and it is large enough for that. But the frozen shelf looks comically small in comparison to what it probably is because of how far away it is. And save for the mountain, and now it's vast expanse, and at least you know where you're going for sure. In this atmosphere, and you pack your things back up. You get ready to start hustling, and you continue onward. There isn't something else that's going to happen today, so unless there's anything else you guys would like to do during this day, we can talk about what you guys do when the sun doesn't quite set when you want it to, or if you're pressing through, because I know you mentioned that, but I don't know if that's still the plan.
I think we decided against pressing through overnight,
Okay.
since we would probably exhaust ourselves about as much as going slowly. But there's a chance that we might not
Makes sense to me.
exhaust ourselves on the way.
Makes
Also,
sense to me.
Did we discuss skinning the wolf? I thought we discussed skinning the
You
wolf.
and me? No, I
No,
would.
just in general.
I don't know. That's I should. We can take it back to where you guys were at the gnolls and the wolves. If you guys want to do anything with these gnolls and wolves, I know you probably are grabbing this. So there's 2 javelins, a longbow, and then some leather armor that's ragtag and could be pieced together eventually, but like it's not even worth half the cost of the leather.
I look at all and say, cool.
It's like just tattered and not
Wow,
that
that's a
held
lot of
together.
stuff.
Yeah.
They don't have any,
these wolves are
like,
made
if I were
to
to
dwarf.
inspect them, I don't know.
Am I like uncomfortably cold in my coat?
Not so your body itself isn't cold, not that bad, because it's bundled up and tightened up so bad. But
Yeah.
like your nose is frozen, your ears are frozen, your forehead's definitely frozen because you're bald, right?
I'm bald.
Or
No,
not
I
bald.
got
You got
bald.
the top knot, yeah. So you got
Whatever. The
basically,
fuck my guy has.
yeah, basically your whatever is not covered is like feels like there's snow being held against it at all times.
Nice.
But
Let's skin the wolf.
but other than that,
Just some
you're
blankets.
you're like the stuff you bought has been keeping your internal bodies warm enough while you're moving around. The problem is when you stop moving is when the cold really starts to set in. Hence the.
How long would it take to skin a wolf?
It depends on if somebody's good at skinning and if you guys have a skinning knife and if how good of a job you guys
Oh,
want to
I
be
thought-
doing.
I thought
And
just a dagger would.
I mean, so
I know. What
as
you're
an
talking
example,
about.
if you have a knife intended for it, it's way faster and easier.
Yeah.
But if you've got just a dagger, you can skin it. It's going to be patchy as fuck, and it's going to take more time for less reward. But you can do it, unless somebody is for some reason proficient. There are some random proficiencies around the table. Okay, so it wouldn't even put it past me.
All right,
We
Boy
all
Scout
slowly
troop
look
leader.
at
Yeah.
cats.
Are you good at skinning animals?
Yeah.
I am fairly familiar with collecting meat from slain beasts.
Yeah, you can definitely gut it.
Damn it, cats.
You can definitely gut it for the meat. That's not the issue. But in the same way, so here you have I wouldn't say you have less time to do what you did with the bear, but you actually do have like less time because of how intense it is just to sit still and do that. You can do it.
It's actively
And-
freezing.
Yeah, it's actively fucking freezing. And it's freezing the wolf.
Yeah.
And you're trying to cut it while your hands are like shaking and like you gotta stop and hand the knife to someone else to like do some jumping jacks and warm back up and get the blood back flowing. But you can do it. It depends on how long you're willing to spend and what you're trying to get out of it.
Can I investigate them just to see if they have any like secret compartments, maps, the gnolls, notes?
Yeah. So no roll needed. You can toss their bodies just fine. The only thing that's different from gnolls are known for just their savagery. They don't really have plans. They just show up place, kill a bunch of things, and leave. Like that's genuinely what they do. So there's not any of that stuff. There is weaponry. There is the savagery that came with them. But upon closer inspection, they're dead and have been dead. It looks like what you did to put them down isn't what killed them, even remotely. And it looks like on top of you guys putting them down, before that, their bodies have decomposed a bit before they were reanimated by
So
whatever
they're
it did.
fresh,
So they're
like I'm dead.
that's hard to determine, especially because of where you are. So it's
Oh, that's
what I'm gonna say is you can tell that they definitely decomposed here before it got cold, because otherwise their body would have been intact the way it was because it's that cold up here. But So at one point, this land was probably habitable in some sense before it got too cold. And they presumably lived up here. Something killed them. Something has reanimated them.
Something or someone.
You want to skin one? and
Something
I'll skin the
includes
other?
someone.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right.
I
Semantics.
haven't skinned anything quite this large, but I'm happy to give it a shot.
Ready to
Do
give
you
her a
want-
go?
Do you want
Yeah.
fur or meat?
Yes.
They are different
mean-
processes.
Do we have methods of cooking this meat with us?
But we know the
No.
meat won't spoil. I take my finger and go. Won't spoil.
Because it's cold.
You licked your finger. Yeah, you take 2
You
points
take
cold
you take a
damage.
point of cold. No. Yeah, while it's still attached to the thing, it will very slowly start to become inedible. But as soon as you take it away from the body, and it starts to because there's still as soon as you start doing some work to it, it doesn't have internal bleeding anymore.
Yeah.
And it
We're freezing meat, pretty much.
yeah, exactly. But while it's still attached, I mean, if you start gutting it now, you're good.
Convenient. I'll take a flank steak, my guy.
So are you
I'll
trying
leave
to-
You get the meat.
Are
I'll
you
go
trying to
first.
take apart
How's
this wolf
that
for
sound?
food, or are you trying to take apart this wolf for
There's
fur?
2, right?
There is 2.
Yeah.
There's
How
2.
about-
We'll do
And
one
there-
of each.
Get one of each.
There, one would cover up Batuk, and one would feed Batuk. No, I'm just kidding. No, one would feed like 4 of you, 5 of you, depending on the roll of the dice.
Yeah.
So you can do a. Since you're not proficient, you could just add dexterity to it.
What am I trying to be proficient in?
Would it be like a survival check?
Like skinning, tanning.
Like
I
a
don't think
tools
there's
thing.
a proficiency or a tool for that specifically.
Isn't there?
There's
I'm-
leatherworking stuff.
Leatherworking would be the closest.
So I guess that's
You're
the
trying to
closest.
skin it, or yes? Or...
Yeah, I mean, I suppose you can add if you're proficient in survival.
I am
I'll allow
very
you to-
proficient in survival.
Is that
Yeah.
dexterity based or wisdom based though?
That's wisdom based.
So for this,
But if you
do
want a dex
do
check, I will
dexterity.
do that.
So do dexterity and add survival.
Okay.
Sure, I can deal with that.
It's knowing where to cut and being able to cut there.
Yeah,
Is what I'm
absolutely.
trying to combine.
That's a bunch.
6.
24.
6 and 24. So are you going after one wolf and you going after the other wolf, or are you guys working together on one wolf?
Well, good thing you're on meat.
Yeah, we were gonna do one and the other.
I think we're
and I
doing
was-
opposites at
Okay,
the same
so you're
time.
I was
on.
going
You're
on
on.
I'm on pelt duty.
Okay, and you're on
I'm
gutting
duty.
duty.
Yeah.
So there's a minimum. There's a mandatory minimum for you. So I'm gonna hit your mandatory minimum, and then I will say you get a decent wolf pelt out of this thing. Obviously, there's some damage to it before you started working on it. Save for that, you could have actually skinned this thing and sold the pelt. But for your purposes, just keeping people warm and whatever, it will be fine once it's dried out in nice weather to have a lot of sun. But you won't be able to exactly cure the pelt here.
Were the wolves dead as well? Could they have noticed?
No.
Like, here,
The
here
wolves
you
were
go,
not.
Farm Dan. I hope this is useful to you.
Never mind.
I
So
nod.
so
I
you
didn't
have-
think I'd get this far.
You have
No,
essentially from like mid rib all the way through across the back of a wolf. I'll say he would have stopped at like the nape of the neck and stopped at like the lower, like near the tail, and try to get that area as like one solid sheet. And again, save for like the couple of holes you guys put in it, it's a good pelt.
Yeah, I will store this until we can actually dry it out. In
Where are you
sunlight.
putting that thing?
Not as rusty on that as I thought I was.
Well,
The infamous question of where are you gonna put
so
it?
I'll take it.
You mean we're not playing Skyrim?
I'll take
Yeah,
it.
you
I'll
don't just
put
shove it up your
first
ass
side
with
up
it.
against my back. Can I just have it hanging over my
Sure.
shoulder like a coat?
You can. You're about to smell in like 8 minutes, but you sure could.
I don't think that's
Good
really
thing
a
it's
concern
hard
for
to
us.
smell.
Actually, you
it's
probably
cold
wouldn't. You
out.
probably wouldn't smell in 8 minutes. You probably smell like in a couple days.
I know. Do you want to season this thing?
No.
You can actively
Season
have
the belt.
the magical disinfectant get rid of that for you. Anything else you guys want to do for these, and then we'll fast forward to.
Does it magically dry? Do you
I'm gonna
dry
grab the
it?
javelins and the longbow just
No.
because they're
Not
useful.
tan it, obviously.
Yeah.
But
gonna
Yeah, so
leave the
2
leather
javelins, 1
straps.
longbow.
don't
There's
have
a handful of arrows.
What does Preston
I don't do
fucking
ammo,
do?
so
I imagine this pelt is more than 5 pounds, correct?
yeah. I had to think about it. Fur is heavy,
Yeah, fur's heavy.
so yeah, it's about 10 pounds.
So my mage hand is not going to be very much help here.
2 mage hands together could drag it.
I don't have mage hand.
I mean, if you guys wanted to mage hand drag this,
I have Tensor's floating disc.
that would work.
That would work.
But that's
Yeah.
a first level spell for a wolf pelt.
You can ritually cast it.
Yeah.
It's a ritual.
We can throw a bunch of other shit on it.
Yeah, you could ritually cast it while I'm
Yeah,
spinning.
I mean, you could ritually cast it while they're doing that, and you can load that bitch up
Great. We have an hour.
before you have
I
to
mean,
cast it again, and then keep going. But that will slow your travel to do so. Because you have to stop.
We'll have an
Wait,
hour.
does it
where-
really only last an hour?
Yeah, duration 1 hour.
That's very funny to me.
We'll have an hour of its freshest smell, and then I'll carry.
And then
the
the disc.
rest.
So an hour after you guys begin travel, the disc goes, pff, and then everything that was on it. I don't know what all you loaded up there, but everything that was on it goes
500
onto the
pounds. I
onto
could
the
load
snow.
up.
You could load up a person.
I could, yeah, 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
Ride
Or
my
just
disc.
the 2.
No, say yes.
Or just the 2.
310.
Yeah.
Without the stuff I'm carrying, I'm 310.
You're 310.
He's a big old boy.
Big
He's a
boy.
bugbear.
You're a big boy.
He's a big bear. He's not a bugbear.
Jesus.
Anyway,
Fucking mountain.
you guys continue on. The sun would have set in a normal place. It looks like you have 3, maybe 4 hours worth of daylight still. But if you pursue through the daylight, you're pushing into your own exhaustion territory. Obviously, you can finagle it a little bit, but either way, tomorrow during the day, you're going to get to one more, not even full day of travel to get to Dawnscape.
Yeah, and where we're at right now, it's pretty wide open, and there's not any landmarks or anything to look for a better spot. To
The
camp
only-
other than
so-
just in the middle of snow.
Yeah, the only thing that's really different is that there are some soft slopes for where the wind has hit the snow and ice that have kind of eroded some small divots kind of thing. But in general, the only 2 things that you could see in any distance at all are the 2 that one's behind you and one's in front of you.
Gotcha.
And the middle is just fucking.
And the middle is this. I mean,
Yeah, try to find a lower spot to maybe guard from the wind a little bit when we set camp, but other than that, just prepare for the evening.
So is there any other differences for the camping tonight, given what you kind of know from the night before?
I'm gonna try to hang up this pelt in some way to just block some wind.
Okay, what are you hanging it on?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I have 2 javelins.
That is perfect. I also have many javelins.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I have a quiver
you know how
full
you
of
tan
javelins.
leather where you kind of
Yeah.
spread it out and shit. I will say between Felix and the 2 of you holding the javelins while he does this, you can essentially makeshift yourself a tannery station out of javelin and rope. You do damage. Yep.
This fuckery that we're.
Yep.
Keep going.
That's yep. It does ruin a lot of the pelts because of how you're having to put bigger holes for the rope to go through, but it does make for a makeshift wind
My
barricade.
brother in Christ, have you heard of knots?
She has, or he has.
Oh.
So with that,
Pretty good at knots.
with that, I will allow one person and one person only to not need the Constitution saving throw. Everybody else will need
I
to
would
make
say
the
it should
Constitution
be one of us
saving
because
throw.
we're already exhausted.
Yeah, one of
Yeah, one of
I'll
y'all.
do it. I'm not afraid.
And mine having a tent doesn't help at all.
It doesn't. I'll say. I don't think it would. And really, I'm not even sure that it's just creative enough to allow me for
Sure.
me to do
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I will
But,
leave it to you, 'cause
the main
my
issue is that you're
constitution is not
whole-
great, but I imagine yours is not great either.
The wind's not so bad when you're laying down. The
yeah.
main issue is that you're not moving your body to keep
Yeah.
yourself warm. That's what becomes the issue.
Okay.
Would
You
his
guys could
tent
also.
with this help him also stay out of it? Would his tent? You still have the tent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Would his tent
between
plus the thing block him from having an exhaustion?
yeah. I'm saying one player cannot have to make the
Okay.
roll, which would
I didn't know if
remove
that
a
would
point.
be 2. I was trying to finagle 2.
Yeah, that's what he was asking. I have to say no on that only because I'm giving the creativity aspect of like, can we try to do something with this pelt? I mean, you can even try to like wrap yourself up with a growth pelt and do the Star Wars shit.
So con rolls.
So yeah, con roll for everybody but one. Go ahead and decide who that is.
I'll do it. I'll do the
I'll
con
do the
roll.
roll.
Okay. Whew. And I'll start
That's gonna
on
be
this
real
side.
slow.
Zadius.
Oh, for Elysian.
15.
Okay, you pass.
15.
Pass.
Do I lose
I
my?
don't have
Yes,
such
you do.
Elysian stuff. Or
It was con save, right?
Con save, yeah.
19.
You're good,
I'm the one who's not making the roll.
right?
19.
So your point of exhaustion goes away. 19. So you're good.
Craze is 16. Elysian's higher.
Okay, you're both good. So everybody
Was I
passed.
supposed to roll that as disadvantage?
No, it's not. It's skill checks
Yeah,
skill
and
checks only
attack
at
rolls or
first,
whatever. Yeah. So
So we get a long rest.
everybody, you do in fact get a long rest.
Yay!
Once again throughout the night. I mean, it was an anomaly that you guys met something up here earlier. So you in total from where you encountered them to where you are now is maybe 5-10 miles. Probably about 10 miles because of how travel works in difficult terrain. Guys, pack up your things once more. Do you once again take the pelt?
Do we?
I don't know.
During our long rest, I want to
Yes.
use the dedicated weapon feature from Monk to make the. Let me make sure I can actually do this. Simpler martial weapon. Oh, never mind. I'm not proficient with it. I was gonna make the longbow a monk weapon.
You can do that if you're
I
Kinsey.
thought he was gonna make.
There's a thing in Tasha's for level 2 monks where if you're proficient
Oh.
with a weapon, you can
That's
do it
what
with
I
one
put
weapon
down.
only and make it a monk weapon
Huh.
for the duration of your short/long rest. You
Weird.
have
Okay.
to actually be proficient with it, which I'm not.
It's
Yeah.
the morning.
It is morning.
Morning
Go ahead and
thoughts.
roll your portents and recover anything that you would get back from the long
It's not
rest.
quite as fiery as it was yesterday.
They're low this time.
But I am strongly considering taking the weapon master feat at level 4.
So you guys continue onward, heading the rest of the way to Dawnscape, and at this point, you can see the walls of and I say walls, I don't mean walls surrounding, I mean walls as in wall of Dawnscape up ahead that is etched into this mountain. You're maybe 20 miles away, probably a little less. And you guys travel for like just a couple hours before anything remarkable happens. But from so you're traveling northeast, mostly east at this point, and from like the northwest, you see a very large silver. I shouldn't say very large. A large silver figure on 4 legs that seems to have something black in its jaws, and is running. Not necessarily at the same, like, it looks like you might hit on a Y, you know what I mean?
Sure.
You both seem to be going relatively the same direction, and they are veering a little bit in your direction, so after some time, if you waited, you might not deal with this at all.
Also going towards Dawnscape.
So
if we're going that way,
yeah.
then they're going towards Dawn's kind of.
Either towards or like past or they do appear to be going like mostly the same direction. So like if you're going straight east, they're going east southeast.
Okay.
Sure. I don't see any reason
Press
to actively
on.
avoid this thing.
Okay, so
We have plenty of time to yield.
it continues on
It's a great opportunity to
near
make a new
you,
friend.
and
Sure.
after some time, you see you become close enough. You see that it's not some sort of leopard. As it gets closer, it drops the carcass that it's holding, and kind of creeps up to you guys, maybe several hundred feet apart. And at this point, you could see it's not a leopard or a wolf or any of that. It is a drake, so wingless dragon, essentially, silver in color, blends in with the snow pretty harshly, but it doesn't blend in so that you couldn't have made it out for a while. It is large. It is looking at you. It appears to be sniffing, and it's making like half circles, but not coming any closer to you in any way.
We should spook it off.
I'm
Can
gonna
we tell what it
cast.
was carrying?
Just fucking casting spells?
You can.
I'm gonna
You
cast-
can make a
Maybe we should
perception
just back
check.
up. Maybe we
Yeah,
should-
I'm gonna cast thaumaturgy,
Okay.
and I'm going to make my voice 3 times as loud, and I'm just gonna like do my best to growl, like make myself big and growl at its general direction to try to
Okay.
spook it.
Yeah, I like it. Go ahead and make an intimidation check. You can make a perception check.
Yeah. I don't know why I rolled that at advantage, but I rolled the exact same thing on both dice.
Okay. For perception,
Yeah. Which puts it at an 18.
18.
10.
10. Okay. So with an 18, you can't make out what it is other than that it is humanoid. The way it flops to the ground, you can see like one of the arms dangle up. And it appears to be like a more rotund human.
Mm-hmm.
A humanoid. When I say human, I don't mean literally. More rotund being on 2 legs is what it looks like. But from where you're at, it's hard to make out. And it dropped it, and it's also pacing past it over and over again. And as you do the growl, you begin to hear it growl back before it gets maybe 20 feet closer to you guys. Sniffs, turns its head, grabs the corpse, and takes off, and it's heading straight at Dawnscape.
Nice. Good job, buddy.
I don't think I did anything.
I don't think you did.
Nah.
I tried.
I was going to try to talk to it in Draconic, but it's gone now.
Oh,
I believed in you.
thanks.
Onward, friends. After the
and-
spooky Drake.
You get closer and closer, and
That's probably a nice Drake.
at this point, you begin to see the very apparent fortress known as Dawnscape. Built into the base of this massive black and gray plateau that is multi-tiered. It is a multi-tiered, multi-layered barricade system facing basically the entire southern side of the plateau. You see a top, like at different like intervals. You see a big cauldron that's attached to an apparatus that those of you that know anything about Castle Warfare, they look like they can dump some shit out of there by pushing pretty easily. As you get closer, you do see there's like divots that clearly stuff has been poured and damaged the ground underneath. And the westernmost outer wall is like basically touching the plateau itself. You see a rather large gate tucked away, almost hidden, but you're coming from that direction. And as you get closer, you begin to see figures atop the wall. And right as you can kind of make out, like a person maybe walking, you hear a low, and nothing else.
Does that sound like a horn?
Sounds like some sort of horn, yeah.
As we should.
You also notice that you are beginning to, with all your clothing on, with all your stuff, with walking, you're actually beginning to sweat more than you were, as if the weather's nicer, and you find yourself undoing and unbuttoning some semblance of your clothing, so that you can let some of the air back in, because it's actually, for whatever reason, seemingly getting nicer as you approach Dawnscape. It goes from something like blistering cold to like low 50s.
Wow,
And
that's
you-
a difference.
Yes,
Okay.
and it's
I like
it was
thinking-
like it was like a swift transition to where you didn't notice it until you're like, bro, I'm sweating.
I'm warm.
Like why
That's what
it's
you
like
the
somebody
thermal
like you ever turn the furnace on rather than the air and you're like, bro, what the fuck? It just hits you and you're like, fuck, it's hot.
It hits you like a ton of bricks. Just
That's essentially what happened just now. Stop. After a short time, you do see several humanoids that are posted atop this barricade, and you see them staggered throughout, and there doesn't seem to be really any of them that are paying more specific attention to you, save for one that is closest to the gate. And he does kind of do one of these.
I'm on the way back.
Yeah.
We go on over.
So
Or at
within a
least
few miles, you will have made it to Dawnscape.
sick.
Maybe an hour or two more of travel. you'll have made it to this fortress.
Nice.
Upon approaching, the guard on top looks to you all, clearly had been waiting for some time, and he goes, there's nothing. I mean, he was literally, he's at a post watching what you guys traveled through for
Ice.
fucking 2 days.
He,
Yep.
he can see us 10 miles away.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's like some dots that are glowing
I'm
at
very
the people.
intrigued with this.
And like they're just staring at. They probably were staring at you for the last like 12 hours. Like
Yeah.
they're on their way.
These boys fucking dudes.
And he yells down to you as you get close enough to like have a
A
shouting conversation from A to B. He yells down to you from 20 feet up. Why are you here? You looking to learn or lean?
I step forward as the party spokesperson.
God help us.
Why are we here?
You said learn or lean?
That's what he said.
Learn or lean? I'm here to learn. We are here to learn.
We're here to see Holg.
Yeah. God damn it.
When you so he looks at you kind of confused. And he looks at you like, oh.
That
me
was
read
not the
through-
answer.
That was not the answer. Fill the hole filler.
Fill the hole.
Yep. We'll talk about it on break.
He goes.
That's what I feel right now.
I mean, there's
Open
not.
the door.
I guess. Fine. And he gestures down to somebody below him, essentially going like this. And you hear like you hear at first a slide, like a. As you get close enough, you could see now that this, it's like a crosshatch iron gate, and it had one of those big iron beams across the middle, and hear that slide across, and then you get to hear like a of something being turned in the background, and the gate slowly beginning to open. And he yells down, he's like, "There's a lot to do around here, so keep your nose clean. It's a lot to see." And upon
Not
entering,
sure I understand, but we'll do
Yeah,
our
this
best.
guy-
Right.
This guy speaks in rhymes and riddles, and I don't know.
wipe my nose
upon
on my
entering the
sleeve.
first gate, you're greeted by a bald, yellow-green skinned man with no nose and just like slits where the nostrils would be.
Voldemort.
And it's a Gith. They do have a Voldemort looking nose.
You can't just ask people why they don't have a nose.
But he's not gray like Voldemort. He's like a yellowish. He looks like Voldemort if he was like sick,
Yeah.
right? And he's got like some like large freckles, for lack of a better term. They're like dots all around his eyes, and a nice tiny little Fu Manchu mustache. And he waves you in once again. And once you're inside, you hear that same. He's like, "Hold on, hold on, I'll be right with you." And eventually, after 20 seconds of him turning this wheel that looks like it belongs on a boat but is made of iron, you see him throw a chain over the top of one of the spokes, and lock it to the bottom, and then throw a chain over another one of the spokes and lock it upward. So unless somebody intentionally breaks this apart, it's presumably not going anywhere. And to boot, you hear that slide shut again. And he says, "Name's Orica. There's a couple things I gotta do before I can get you to your rooms. I presume that's why you're here, so we'll get you going."
His name one more time, I'm sorry.
Orica,
Orca.
Oreka. And he takes you maybe 40, 50 feet before there's a heated room off to the side that you can see a small fire with a large cauldron of some sort. And as he passes by, he's doing a count. Counts you 7, and he's like, "Hey, 7." And it's like, "So your rooms will be pretty mediocre, but we'll put you up. I heard you're here to learn. You'll probably be in and out of here. I don't know why. It's fine. I heard Holg. I don't know who that is, but I mean, we'll get you where you gotta go, I guess." Yeah, thanks. And as he's beginning to speak to you guys, or continuing to speak to you guys, he's handing out a bowl about yay big from this lady who was behind there, ladling into a soup bowl, and he hands each of you this small cup that is just, it looks like just water that's like slightly yellow. And he hands it to you. And if you give it a sniff, it does smell like it's seasoned in some way. And it's hot. You can feel it warm to the touch.
And Tish said there was no food up here.
And it's like a miso soup minus like the vegetables and like a little light on the seasoning.
We're just drinking broth out here.
Hey,
Basically, yeah, very.
it's warm and it's got salt
Yeah,
in it. That's
that's-
all you really need at
Yep.
this point.
It's hot and in my mouth.
It's hydrating, warm, and slightly seasoned. And he says to you guys after you guys each get your small bowl of soup, whether or not you have any of it is up to you. Obviously, I'll have you all through the examination, and then we'll be on to your rooms. I assume you've been traveling for some time, so you probably want a night, and then we can get to your learning or your hog or whatever you're gonna be
Our
doing.
learning or our leaning.
Did
You're gonna be leaning?
examination?
No, like
Are
the
you
guy,
just here? Wait,
No, the guy said.
are you here for refuge?
No, he said that we're either learning or leaning. What does leaning mean? Does he mean like?
They're refugees, man. They don't do anything, but they're here. We gotta deal with that.
Oh, like a lean-to.
No, like they don't do nothing. They just lean around and do nothing.
Oh,
Refugees from
lean
where?
against.
Everywhere.
Got
What do you mean,
it.
refugees. Yeah, not a lot of people come here, boss. I don't know if you know that. And so if you're coming here, you really are running away from something, usually. So we call them leaners.
Every time you speak,
Don't do anything.
It's just like
Because it sounds a little better than refugee.
and Utah's head. It's just doo-doo. That's all it is. Just doo-doo. No, I'm here to learn. I'm not here to lean.
He, as you say, I'm here to learn. He rolls his eyes. What, at the library? Or are you talking about like the marshal?
Yes.
Great, fantastic. All right, it's fine. I'll get you guys spun up on the examination, and then we'll go to your rooms, and we'll get you
What does
guys.
that mean?
Damn,
Well, I mean,
she
you
said
guys
there
just
was
get-
no
what an
text.
examination is?
I know, but why? What are we being examined?
I didn't
Test?
study.
Yeah, what would be examined for?
For the safety of us, security of you, and the health of all.
I'm so deeply
That.
perplexed at the idea of studying for a test.
I don't think it's a test, gang. I think it's just a hey, make sure we're healthy and safe, and
Not
for
on
the
that.
safety of
So-
us, the safety of others, and the what?
He said, for the safety of us, the security of you, and the health of all.
That. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Having some undead troubles.
No. Are you? That's
No.
why we're gonna. Don't worry about us. We got.
That's why we're doing the thing.
Yes. This basically is like, we got you. So he takes. He begins to walk, and he like.
I'm taking my soup.
Sure.
Did anybody else not eat their soup? I'll take theirs too.
I
Drink
ate
my
my soup.
soup.
Um,
Drink my soup.
And so eventually, you go down a short path before on your left there's a in the wall there's a door that opens up into this smaller like waiting room looking area, and another door off to the side. Actually, in total, you get into this waiting room. There's a door to your left, and there's two doors ahead. And he raps on the one door to your left, and a half-elven woman looks out. And goes, okay, and comes out and like wipes some dust. She looks like or not dust, but like wipes some wrinkles off. She looks like she probably was napping back there. And she's like, fine, I got it. Thanks. Who's first? You guys can have a seat. Whoever, come with me.
I'll go first, I guess.
She opens the door and walks on in, and you walk in behind her, and
Yeah.
she closes the door behind you. And you guys, the rest of you six are left with Orica, just kind of chilling. He also has a seat. Seems to be in it until you guys are done. I don't know if you guys
Staring
actually sit
into a
down
snowy
in this
abyss.
waiting room or not, but yeah, you could just be.
We've been walking for fucking 3 days. I'm sitting down.
So it's like quiet, right?
It is. It's
Okay,
genuinely
and
like
all
you're
you
you're
hear
in
is
like a
just-
clinic. You're in a clinic waiting room. There's not. Yeah.
So, what do you do around here?
Are you asking Orica?
Yes.
Man, the game mostly.
In the game?
Open and close. Helps the forearms. I don't open it
Sure.
that much though.
You don't open it that much?
We don't get that many people.
Are we the first people in a while, or like is like every so often, or?
Every month or so.
Mm,
Gate's heavy though.
for sure.
And so,
Wouldn't know.
as you get into this room, this half-elven woman gestures to what looks like a platform made of wood that's like maybe 3 feet off the ground. Gestures to that and says, "All right, drop your shit, make your clothes over there. Whatever you got to do, get comfy right there on that. I'll take a look at you."
Okay.
And she does after you strip down.
Yeah.
If you don't strip down entirely, she basically tells you, "No, come on, the rest." And she gives you like
strip down to my undies, and then I'll be bashful about it. But I will take them off.
The community pool.
yeah. And it's she doesn't touch you.
Yeah.
But she essentially looks over your body and is looking for something. And as she's doing this, she says, "So where'd you come from?"
Swaywood?
Swaywood, where's that? That Great Bay, right?
Yeah.
All right, great. Have you interacted with anything that might cause illness? Gnolls, necrotic, slad, anything like that?
Yes.
What was that?
Oh, the other day we fought some what looked like gnoll zombies.
Gnolls and zombies.
They were undead gnolls that were
Oh,
riding
Gnoll
gnolls.
zombies. You mean like the
Like
one
together.
at the boat? Yeah, okay,
I've
well,
never seen
fuck.
anything like it.
When you say we, do you mean the rest of them too? And she's
Yeah.
like
We handled
lifting
it.
up your ass cheek, or not looking below your ass cheek a little bit as she's like having this conversation with you. And yep. And she goes, "Do you have any illnesses or symptoms from that?" She doesn't touch. She doesn't touch.
No, I feel just fine.
All right, fantastic. So everyone's gonna get this one, and you said we. And you see, as she goes this way, you see a long desk with a series of beakers and vials. One that's like presently burning, and there's a drip that's feeding into one of like a pyramid-shaped big beaker thing. And she hands you one, and she begins to look. Or she's like handing you
I'll
one
take
and
it.
looking for the others. Then you grab it naked, and she eventually finds 2 other ones, and she's like, "We, right? You said we."
Yes.
Okay, cool. And she begins counting these, and she hands you 3 vials in total.
Okay.
The first one is a clear, odorless, looks like water. Hands you that. The second one's a like mucus yellow, and like thick like Jello. And the last is soft red,
Okay.
like not flavored enough Kool-Aid. Looks like. But she hands you those 3 and says, "All right, go ahead. You
Drink,
can put your
right?
clothes on."
Right?
Yeah,
Alright,
yeah,
alright,
of
okay.
course. You can put your clothes back on.
I
I'm sorry,
drink them
gotta
all,
do-
no question. I don't even look. Close my eyes. And then I'll get dressed.
The only one that had any real taste was the one that she handed you, the clear one, and it tastes like it's bad. It tastes like a bad wine mixed with fish.
I
Like
need
just
some more of that
just
broth.
not yeah, not good.
I shouldn't have drank it all.
And the other ones were actually just fine. The one was a little more viscous and thick than you were ready for, but nonetheless, you can drink them all and put your clothes back on, get your stuff back on. I will say before you put anything on, she did go through your stuff as well,
Sure.
just peruse through, and you finish putting on your things. All right, send the next guy in. Next
Sure.
person.
Thank
No.
you. I didn't get your name. I'm sorry.
Livy?
Thank you, Livy. It was nice to
Yeah,
meet you.
no problem.
I'll go.
Great. Okay, and you go through the same rigmarole.
I don't take my ring off.
She doesn't ask about. She does go to grab it, and then looks up at you before she does, and then goes, "Is this family or something?"
Yes.
All right, fine. And she just looks it over really well. Doesn't touch anything on you. Asks you the same questions. Goes through your things really, really well. Hands you the same 3 vials. Sends you on your way, unless you have anything that you want to tell her. So it's the exact same.
I'm gonna ask
You
what
guys
the
are-
vials are.
Mhm.
I'm gonna ask specifically what the vials are. What are these?
What
why
a
am I,
concept.
Why am I
What a concept. Well, the first one's a series of antibiotics to make sure you're not diseased in some way that you don't know about. It's a precious ecosystem back here. There's not a lot of people that can actually stay within these walls. If you have a bad reaction to that, we'll know and we'll have to get you out so that we don't ruin people and their lives.
Great.
The other 2 are the same but specified for those things that you've told me, or that he's told me. If you didn't tell her.
Got
So
Huh.
go ahead and I'm going to need you to take those all 3.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, sure. Whoop. Fuck it.
Not that kind of wizard.
So, same thing. She goes through your things, goes through you, hands you 3 vials,
Yeah. Never mind.
hands you
That's
3
how it
vials,
goes.
and sends. It tells you to send in the next.
I'll go next.
Okay. So, the only difference with you, unless you would like to make something different.
300.
I mean, I'm packed to the gills like Samwise
Wings
Gamgee, so I'm
screaming
dropping
Oh,
my
yeah.
journalism kit,
She's
my
looking
giant
at you
cauldron,
like this motherfucker.
my 2 javelins, my longbow, my
Yeah.
tent, like all this stuff just flopping down in the other room.
So
They got
she does.
comedy bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, no,
She-
here's more clankety clank clank.
She does. You eventually get naked, and you're standing on this platform, and she's going through your stuff, and she's looking at you, and she's going through your stuff, and she gets to that satchel that you found within the tent, and she reaches in, and she goes, and she flips it, and nothing comes out, and then she reaches in, and you watch her arm go farther than it should into the satchel, and she's like, fine, whatever. She throws it back at you. She's like, you can get dressed. Here are your 3.
What are these?
The medicine. Ask your buddy, man. I just told him. It's fine. Just
Oh.
drink them. You're gonna need to drink them.
So I'm gonna drink them, but on the off chance that let's say we run into something and I need to make some, like how do I do
You know,
it?
you just come back here.
Oh,
you're good.
Okay.
If you're really interested, we get you a job. Are you staying here?
For a while. I'm not sure how long, but not.
I mean,
not-
we can get you a job if this is
not
what you're trying
a
to do.
long
That's
time.
fine. We don't get that. Just send the next guy so I can go back to my thing. Thanks.
I take the 45 minutes.
Go back to your nap.
And
And then I start messing with that bag while we're in the waiting room, trying to figure out
it's
what's going on.
a bag of holding. You genuinely never checked.
I
Yeah.
didn't. Satchel of.
It is a satchel of holding, equivalent to a bag of holding. If anybody else has anything else that's different for this process,
Yeah, I'll go in next.
is it like, for sake of time, is there anything that happens differently for anybody in specific? And if so, we can get to that.
I mean, the only thing I guess no one
Yeah.
else would notice this, but like when he takes off his shirt, there is a scar running across his chest. It's like a sword wound or something like
Okay, cool.
that. So other than
She does not
Okay.
say anything about it. She does examine it, and she does get close to it to make sure it's fully healed. It looks like.
Yeah.
She hands you the same 3
These nice
vials.
guys
She
get
goes
to
through your
put my
stuff all the
own
same.
Yeah.
I would sleight of hand try not to take the drinks.
She's
Like a fun-
sure. She is staring at you.
Yeah, I
Um,
would try not to take them.
This man is just like
So
throws drink over his shoulder.
yeah,
Yum.
Maybe try to distract her or something like that. But like I would try to get out of.
I don't
taking
know if
these
you've
liquids.
ever taken a drug test in
Right,
places
and I'm
that
not going
are.
to start now.
So you can Zadius hasn't. You can go ahead and make a sleight of hand check. The DC is very high. I will tell you, it's 25.
Oh, you can make that.
You can. It's possible.
Nat 20 right here.
I would
He needs
need
a
it.
19 or a 20.
Did you roll important?
I'm not giving him a 6 or a 5.
Oh, okay.
You can't see him
I
anyway.
mean, you should.
Yeah, I can't see it.
Okay, so you
That was a
fit,
2.
you like
Yes, it was.
you
Thank
like you like throw it back, but try to like basically hold it in and like not swallow the liquids. And she's staring at you, and she's like, and you like fake the Adam's apple goes up, and you try to fake like you swallow. She goes, all right, go ahead and tell me your name. Yeah, go ahead and swallow.
Oh my god.
All right. I failed.
She's staring at you.
Yeah.
I rolled a 2 anyways.
Yeah,
so-
fair enough. But she doesn't seem really. It looks like she's probably gotten that before,
Yeah.
and it's just like, let's get the show over with. Come on.
Yeah, and I don't really care about being naked. I just pick up my clothes, walk back outside, and slowly get dressed. It doesn't bother me.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything else that's different about their experience in there? Quick down and dirty thing.
I gotta leave my hat on.
Yes.
She asks that you at least lift it, so that she can and like bend
Sure.
over so
Check
you can see
for
the
ticks or
Do you have the farmer
basic
ball
spot.
Obviously.
Oh yeah.
Actually, from wearing your hat too much.
He's not that old.
Still.
So are you going through, what are you
cousin's
doing with the bag of
24
holding while
already,
that's all
'cause
happening?
Filling it
I'm just kind of
Ah,
putting
nah.
my hand in it and trying to because all I saw was her put her hand in it and keep going, and I'm like, that's weird. And then, so I'm gonna try it too,
weird.
and then the very next thing I'll do is I'll put the whole ass cauldron in the bag, and try to fit it in
So
there.
it actually doesn't fit only because you can't get it through the
to
opening.
But that's what that's what he tried. I tried
Yeah.
to do that next. I'm like, okay, well that doesn't work.
Fuck you doing?
And I'm like, all right, I put my tent in the bag.
And you guys watch, those of you that, whoever's not getting examined at the time when the tent goes in, you watch like a magic show, this tent just get in there and the bag doesn't expand at all. Just the bag.
That's cool.
Fuck's sake.
I'm sorry, what the fuck?
I don't know. I saw when the lady was searching my bag, her hand went really far into it, and I don't really know what's going on here. But I thought
Actually,
I'd
I've seen one.
mess
Can
with it
I
up.
see that for a
You
second?
have.
You mind?
Yeah.
Not that
I'll give a
one,
red
not
dot
just
one,
seen,
I've just
you've
seen
seen
one.
those bags before.
Can I
It's
virtually
like-
cast identify?
Sure.
Oh, I
Yeah,
know,
over
no,
the course
I know
of
those
everyone's
are.
examinations,
I feel like
you-
I could do
yeah,
that.
over the
Yeah.
course of everyone's
You
examinations,
have
you
to
sit there and
roll
cast
for it?
identify. It is in fact a bag of holding.
Sick.
Yes, I do. Throw it back. It's a bag of holding.
What does that mean?
It means
Don't
it
all
holds-
bags
It means
hold
you can
things?
put a
No,
lot of
it's
shit
it's
in
it's
that
like
thing.
it's like a check this out, and I
You just watched him shove a whole tent in
Yeah,
there.
my whole
in
tent
a
in
satch, in a
Like
messenger
a
bag.
bag part.
I'm looking at him and I'm like, you can just put shit in there, and I just start throwing things in and watch. Ration. Another
So
ration.
when you say ration,
Ration.
when you say ration and pull one out, you don't pull out the ration you had just put in there.
Yeah,
you
I
pull
know.
out a stale bagel that has clearly been in there and moldy.
Oh,
I
Jackpot
see. I
over
didn't,
here.
see, I didn't put this in here, but it was in there. I say sword.
A short sword will come out.
Did you see me put a short sword in? I did not put a short sword in.
That's pretty neat. Pretty bad name.
Uh,
is all I'm
gold.
saying.
Are you just looking for a handful?
Yeah.
I would say 31 gold fits in your hand, so 31 gold comes out.
Oh.
I put that in my pocket. 31 gold.
Gold.
I'm gonna do it again. Gold.
No more gold comes out.
Silver.
28 silver comes out.
Hey.
Platinum.
No.
No.
Copper.
80 copper comes out.
It goes everywhere.
Alright.
And then I'll say ration, like try and get my shit back.
Before
Take all the
in some
rations out.
semblance of getting your ration back and the other ones that are in there, you end up getting 8 stale, spoiled rations out of the bag, as well as what you've put in already. The spoiled ones?
Yeah.
No.
Here's your bag back.
I get a ration. Until all the spoiled ones are gone. I just
Okay.
dispose of them somewhere.
It shouldn't be called something
I'll go
better though. Bag of
axe.
holding's pretty lame for a
Axe
magic
does not come
item.
out.
Weapon.
It's all I'm
Well, so I know the properties of
In
the
books,
item,
they
right?
always have like more.
do know the properties of the
evocative
item.
Names.
And of course, I don't know how much is already in it, but I do know that there is a max.
Big
There is,
bag.
yes, you do. You know that there's like a 500 square
Oh, I
foot
guess bag of holding is fine.
house
then.
that essentially is there in the bag,
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
I just don't know what's in there currently.
Correct. You
That's
do not
our
know the
other
contents of the bag.
Cool.
I will say the only thing that I'm going to say, I think it's actually supposed to be this way, that if you flip the bag over or inside out, it like dumps everything. It doesn't do that here.
In your universe?
In this universe,
Damn.
there's some shit in there. If you go scrounging around in there, you may or may not come out with something. But
and you found this on the
One
knoll?
Orcus.
Damn.
No, this was in the tent. This
Um,
was in the tent.
This was
that
in
I
the
sold.
tent?
you think
Yeah.
you think weapon, and you reach in. You've already taken the short sword out of there.
Yeah.
A bolt comes out. Crossbow bolt.
Weapon.
Another bolt.
Oh,
I
you
keep
just
doing it
say
until no
fucking
more weapons
weapon?
come out,
You get a total of 6 bolts.
and then I do it again. Nothing. Okay.
My hopes and dreams.
Armor.
Nothing comes out.
Your
No
brother's not
armor
hiding
comes
in
out of the
there.
bag.
Shield.
No shield comes out of the bag.
Can't think of anything else.
Well, that's what you
Jewels.
said,
Ask
isn't
for
it?
Yeah, it's a little much.
Jewels.
Yep.
Diamonds.
3 diamonds come out.
Holy fuck.
How big?
They're small. They're very small. They're like ring sized.
Did you say they'd be worth 50 gold, maybe? No?
Hold
They're
on.
not worth 50.
Goddamn.
If you meld 2 of them together, maybe.
Well, you can maybe trade them for 50 gold diamond.
You could.
Gems.
A ruby comes out.
Gems.
I'll call a pearl.
Gems.
I'll call a pearl.
I'll take the pearl.
I'll just keep saying gems until all
That's
the
the
gems
last-
are out.
that's
So
the
all the
last-
gems are out.
And then we'll just-
Gems.
So you have
Gems.
3 diamonds, 1 ruby, and a pearl. The pearl itself is like yay big.
That's a honker.
It's-
Big ol'
it is a
pearl.
honker. The ruby is like when you think of a jewel trader and the thing that he sets on the table, that's the size of the gem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the diamonds are smaller; they would fit in a ring.
Okay. We'll figure out a way to sell these or figure out what they're worth and then split them up.
Ooh, can I try one? Can I try one more thing? Book.
A book does come out, contained inside a like wooden plaques that are carved, and it looks like on the cover there's a large tree, and on the back on the bottom there's initials OS. But
OS.
What's that?
It's a book I found inside. I'm gonna put it on the seat next to me and say book again. And now it's no book? Okay, cool, thank you. I'll look at this book. I'm sorry, can you describe the book one more time?
Do you open it?
In about 10 seconds.
do you open it?
No, I'm gonna look at it
Oh,
first.
okay.
I really just want the description.
I give it to you. It's a book that the binding is wooden plaques, and it's bound together in like what looks like vine.
Yeah.
And then the front cover of it is a large tree, like etched into the wooden plaque, and then on the back, on the bottom, is the engraving OS, like etched in.
Engraving OS. O, the letter O and the letter S.
Correct. O.S. You open it?
Move the book.
Okay, make a dexterity saving throw.
Oof.
That was perfectly timing.
What'd you find? Sounds good.
Hey, that's a teen number. 17.
17. As you open the book, you're going to take half of it, so you're going to take 5 points of fire damage.
Ouch.
As you all watch a bolt of fire come straight out and hit him right in the chest. Take 5 points. That's it.
The book's still open?
The book is open. You leaf through it. You leaf through it. It is a spell book. The spells, if you want to write these down, are... Tell me when you're ready.
Ready.
Silvery barbs.
Oh God.
Identify.
Spell.
Detect magic. Expeditious retreat.
I'm not good at spelling.
Mage armor. Tasha's called caustic brew.
Ooh.
Tasha's hideous laughter. Shield. Kinetic jaunt.
Fuck.
And kinetic jaunt
Okay.
and vortex warp.
Alright, I'm on board.
Mm,
Nice.
Anything on that?
That's a fucking yeah. Holy fuck.
I-
O.S.
Hmm?
Shot in the dark. Does anybody know a famous author by O.S.
Name doesn't ring a bell.
Definitely
Got
not
a
for
tree
you.
on
You
it.
don't know authors.
No. What
Those are picture books, that's for sure.
But I have
Hey, are you making fun
none,
of farmers?
none of their names are OS.
I don't
Okay.
know. I mean,
It's like,
I've read books,
any
but
inkling.
not
You can-
a lot of magic stuff, so I probably don't know.
I'm gonna close the book and
So
then open
here's-
it again. Does it do the
It does not. So here's the thing about O.S. in a book. Even if you might know that O.S. person, inside of here is just the makings of a wizard spell book. And it's really hard to tell if there was an author to this per se. Like obviously it was somebody's, and their name was presumably that. You can. The issue is that yourself have probably read many books. You probably remember many of the authors. Many of them probably are OS. Were they a wizard?
fucking
You know what I mean?
narrow it
Like
down.
it's. You can make the check, but I don't see even if you roll extremely highly with very very minimal information, I don't think it's even possible to determine it. So,
Where was that?
you might figure it out later. But at this
Like,
time,
I'm-
with
I'm
what you have, I don't think you would know what
trying to
it
figure
like
that out.
whose it is.
Nice.
It's too vague.
Too big, yeah.
Even the book itself, no roll needed. That doesn't. It looks stylistic in nature rather than something that. It looks stylistic in nature rather than something that is a religious or a ceremonial type thing. Yeah, that's. And for sake of time, with the bag of holding, that's all the stuff in it.
Nice.
Okay. So we can't reach in and say secret item.
Well, you couldn't do that, no. But that is all the things that are in there. And I've erased it also if you don't remember what it is, and neither do I.
I wrote
It's
all
just
of
on
it down
VODs,
as
you
we
will
pulled
never
it
find
out
it.
except for the spell book, and I didn't write down the money except the copper. There's 86 copper.
Yeah, I wrote down the money.
Okay.
31 gold, 28 silver.
So, you guys go through the bag, and examinations finish up.
So now my tent is in.
True. But so the bag's hole itself would fit like what a standard like messenger size thing would fit, right? So the rods of the tent would fit, but the bulbous cauldron won't. I should have also said that Batuk, Itosh, Zadius, and Elysian are given 4 vials, not 3. But she doesn't say anything about them. She just hands you vials, same as she did with you. But those 4 people are given 4.
Okay.
After the examinations have completed, she gestures to the lot of you and says, Orica, you can take them wherever to their rooms. They're fine for now. I just monitor them for the next 24 or 48 hours. You all, if you feel sick at any time because of what you were given, just come back to me and we'll give you it again. It means it's working. So, go ahead.
Sure.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. That's very kind.
Yeah, no problem. She goes back to closes the same door that he was originally wrapped on, and you hear like the creaking of a bed.
Fair.
And Orica takes you guys once more. And once again was like, all right, and he goes, would you guys like to just go to your rooms, or are we showing you guys something today? I can't show you that much for the next day, but tomorrow we could show you basically everything in here, unless you get sick, in which case you go see Liv again. And then we'll take one more of the same round of stuff, whatever she gave you, and then maybe you're good, or maybe we gotta do another day, we'll see.
Is there a place where we can buy things and sell things?
What are you looking for? Buying and selling?
Food.
Yeah, we take care of that. Don't worry about the food.
Food to travel with.
Oh, we don't really do. Maybe we can get you some like extra stuff on your way out, but
And then, like gems. Do you have any gems for sale?
I mean, you'd have to find someone that wants them. But there's not a lot of. We don't really do the fancy up here. There's not a lot of grandiose.
Basically, want to trade 2 of these, and I hold up the little diamonds for a bigger one.
Yeah, okay, well, you can try to find somebody who's got a bigger one for those 2 and wants to do it. But I'm letting you know, I those are the first ones I've seen since I came here. I got here about 12 years ago, so.
Maybe more of a thing to do on the way back
Alright. Yeah.
at the store that had a bunch of gems.
Yeah.
Hope it was nice for you guys. Liv took care of you guys, right? I mean, it wasn't that bad for me, but I had a lot of medicine to take, and it did not go well for me.
No, it's alright.
But
only
it was
4.
fine. It was only 4?
Yeah. Well, we only ran into one thing, and it was decaying gnolls.
I think they're racist in there.
I don't know, maybe.
What? Racist.
You guys got 4? I had 5.
You have 5?
I had 18.
Fuck.
2, 5.
What, 18?
No, I mean over the course of a couple of days. Had to go back, like I said.
3.
Jeez.
There's some people, and he begins walking, and he takes you essentially. If you see an Attack on Titan, it's that to a smaller scale. So like each individual barricade is maybe 50 feet from the next, and it's clearly designed to have something to fall back into, and it's very keep-like. This is very, very intentionally and clearly a fortress. However, it's massive in its length, and as you go, each wall is about 10 feet higher than the last. There's 4. You guys were able to see before you got in. There's 4 walls that you're able to see, and you don't know what's past the 4th. But each of them were about 10 feet up from the last one. So 20 feet, 30 feet, 40 feet, and then...
Then all of a sudden lightning
50
strikes,
feet.
and then a giant humanoid creature is out.
Yeah, and then you all die.
Yes.
Rocks fall. But yeah, he continues on, and he goes. He's like talking about the medicine he had to take and how it made him a little sick. And he goes, but it is for the best of everybody. Some people were only here, and they've never left here, and they were born here. And all the diseases you guys might come with from wherever you're from, they might come here, and we can't do that, man. We can't kill people based on that. So, trying to make people safe.
Yeah.
And he continues on, travels through another gate that is open on the second row of the through the barricade, and he leads you essentially to there begins to be a wall of doors all the way down on the right side, the same side that you guys like the second wall, or no, the first wall. I'm sorry. Second wall. And he takes you down for a while before he goes, all right, well, it starts to get vacant here, so you guys can pick. Please just stay, like, in the same area so I can at least collect you guys, and you guys can, these are your rooms for the day, maybe 2. Like I said, if you gotta go back to live, I'll take you down there. I'll come check on you tomorrow. We could take you to the sheep. We could take you to the library, and we could take you to one of the training areas, but it's a small one. It's not very much. It's just the archer range. Yeah, the sheep and the goats and stuff. Yeah, we got those.
Nice.
What was this place built for? Why is this like this? Are you guys guarding like treasure or something?
I don't know. I just know I had to come here when they sent me away. I didn't.
You've been here 12 years. You don't know why this place exists the way it does.
I just know they let people come that aren't doing too well. Is that why you're here?
No.
All right.
Is there like a leader?
Yeah. Shauna. Shauna's the leader here. She's. I mean, if you want to see her, you can. You can't see her today, but
Maybe tomorrow.
I think she's gone for tomorrow, but she might be back the next. You can see her the next.
Okay. Good to know.
And you do actually remember Shauna is a name that Tish mentioned as well, in the Crystalline Pass, as someone she grew up with. And she said they were. You're not certain if she said they were like sisters or that they were sisters, but anyway, the Gith gestures to a series of rooms for you all, and if you look in to drop your stuff down really quick, there is a bed, there is a dresser, there is a desk. There's nothing else. There's enough space to you have enough space if you wanted to do a small amount of workout or whatever in here, you could, but it's not in some way lavish, and it seems to be just the holding area from what he was telling you. For people that have newly arrived, there's about 15 rooms in total. And they're large enough that the bed is large enough and the room is large enough that it could comfortably support 2 people in each room, unless they're Batuk size, in which case it's just 1 still, but that's the exception, not the rule. And if any of you guys drop any of your stuff off, all good. If not, what would you like to do?
I'd like to go to one of the training areas.
Okay, yeah, we can go there. Like I said, I can't take you too far back there. We can just go to it's an archery range. It's right down, and he continues down. So you came from this side, and he keeps going east along the second most outer wall. Before eventually you see off to the side is an archery range, and beyond that, a wall erected beyond that, and there's essentially a nook that's built, and you can travel past the archery range on the left, or you can shoot your arrows there. The archery range is probably 300 yards, so it's pretty big and long. but I think like at disadvantage you can fire at 600, right? So I guess it's probably not 3. It's probably 200 yards.
Yeah, 600 feet.
Yeah, it's like it's definitely like you're looking at the target. And you're like that's far. That's far.
Yeah.
Yeah. While we're walking over there, I was like, so you really don't know half orc, nice others?
Half
Yeah.
orc.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some half orcs here. What are you're saying?
That's what I'm looking for.
You're looking for a half orc named Holg. I don't know a half orc named Holg. I've been here for a while. I've never seen a guy. I mean, I don't get it. What was your name?
Farmer Dan.
Not everybody tells me their name, but I don't remember somebody telling me their name is Holg. Might be here. I don't know. A lot of people come through. You know, if anyone, you can meet them when we get past all this. I'm just kind of in the status right now, you know.
Do you know who does know people around here?
Generally, I mean, Shona knows the people that are part of the watch, are part of the. She's the quartermaster, so anybody who does anything, she would know them.
Okay.
But if they're leaner, she doesn't know them because it doesn't, they don't do nothing.
Yeah.
They're just here and they eat the food, but we keep them safe, and they thank us for it.
Can't imagine he's a leader.
All right, well then she probably knows them. And as after a while of spending time with this guy, you know, like if you press on that at all, he does point out some of the people that he says like, yeah, that guy doesn't do anything, and you notice that nobody looks homeless, nobody looks decrepit, but it seems like more like he's pointing out the people that don't have an active job. But very obviously, there's also not that much to do around here. So like even the guards, when they're guarding, there's not much to guard, save for the times whenever it were attacked, essentially. If anybody has anything else like to do that you'd like to do while I lock you back in COVID for a day,
We got away from this shit.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Otherwise, we can skip over to the next day and allow you guys through into the rest of Dawnscape because nobody had any adverse anything. It was mostly just like vitamins and that kind of medicinal stuff. So it was a quick and dirty disinfectant of you, essentially. You basically went through a quick form of customs.
I will find 2 random citizens to give my 5 and 6 portents to.
One of the dudes is shooting an arrow and does not hit.
5.
He's like trying to show his daughter how to fire.
Yep. Right to the ground.
Yep. No, not like that. But you threw it at the ground.
Then she gets 6.
She gets 6, so it's like this much better.
Probably helped her.
Perfect. Good use.
Not every day is gonna have the best portents.
Yeah.
So the next day, you are able to go in to. He tells you can see the obstacle course, which is one of the many training areas that they have. You can see Shauna. You could try to see Shauna. He said she might not be in today. And over the course of yesterday, you could talk to him about basically. He'll tell you that she comes and goes. She doesn't leave anybody in charge, so she never is gone for too long, and she left 2 days ago, so she'll probably be back today or tomorrow, is essentially what you gather from... seems like Orica's not the most... Like, he's on gate duty for probably a reason. But he's not a leaner, and he makes a point of saying that.
I would try to find a place where I could cook the wolf meat.
Yeah, you can... So...
Carried.
Horrifically acidic wolf meat.
We also have a fire to tan that skin.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
You can do that over the course of yesterday, for sure. You can put it in your miso soup. They also do serve a very, very small but rationed portioned size. So for you, it's comical and it's like an appetizer. And for most of you, actually, it's too little of the meat to your normal daily intake. But it seems if communism were a food line, this would be it. Everybody gets the proper amount of food, and like it's clearly rationed because they clearly only have so much. But there's eggs and meat that is given. And the next day, you're able to go to the training areas, the obstacle course,
Cook.
the library. You can try to see Shauna, and you can see the goat, sheep, and cows. The exciting place of Dawnscape.
Yes, goats.
What do you know about this whole guy that we're looking for?
So he's. I've known him pretty much my whole life. He's travel
Oh!
buddy.
Sorry. During the night, you will level up. You don't have to worry about it right now, but you will hit level 3. So
Right.
we'll do that in a moment. But we'll keep that going. Sorry.
So
Before I forget to tell you that, same as your ring when you were leaving the town. That's
So,
Okay, we'll
Yeah.
get back in the groove.
so he traveled with my uncle. They did some adventuring together. Fought a lot of things, and he knows some things. And my uncle told me that I needed to find him anyways, and he's, as far as I know, he's our best hope at finding something, figure something out, because he's the smartest guy I know.
How sure are you that he's here?
I was told that he was here.
How long ago?
Because no one knows him.
A year ago?
No, because it was after. You were told he was supposed to be here, basically, like a month or two after he came.
A month or two after he.
So it's
came
like
back,
it's been
so
like
it's-
just under 5 years, just over 5 years.
I think it was like 3 or 4 years. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll call it 4.
Hey, what it wasn't
Yeah.
like, you got.
I was told this
you
when
were
I was
4
a
years
child.
old and
No,
he's a
no,
dog
he was
scared.
told
No.
relatively
Okay.
like
Yeah, no, the last update that I had of him, which is the last time that I had an
your
update
parents
on
don't like to
anyone.
talk about him.
Yeah, it's-
So it was like
I-
an over and done with conversation.
Yeah, I don't know why they said that this was some awful place. This place seems pretty nice.
It's awful getting here, but
It's awful
nice
getting
when we're
here, but yeah, they're just like, oh, he's off to this terrible place in Dawnscape, and that doesn't seem like it. It seems pretty nice.
Isn't your uncle well-to-do, as they say?
He was an adventurer. He kind
It
of
doesn't seem like a money type of place, you know?
yeah. That doesn't really make sense because Hulk was very fancy. My uncle, I wouldn't say my uncle was well-to-do. He was just a good adventurer. Just
So, of
So
all
what's
the
a
places,
fancy man doing in a place like this?
what is a fancy man do? Nobody tells me. Nobody told me why he was here.
So of all the places that we know about that are here, where do you think he would be? Like the training hall, the library?
Sheep?
Like sheep?
Probably not the sheep. I would think that he'd be at the training hall, but he might be at the library. He's really smart, but
I heard training hall, so let's go there.
yeah, he's
Okay, so
Jazz.
really good with daggers.
there is a rather
like
extensive
No, he's good with them.
training area with a series of weights, a series of pull-up bars, a series of it's like a Mulan showcase over here where everyone's making a man out of you.
Nice.
Yeah, and there's also a number of people that are sparring, and you notice that all of the people sparring look extremely trained. Like none of them are just fucking around. All of them are making very deliberate motions. All of them are correcting each other, and it definitely looks like a practice rather than a haha let's play with toy swords kind of training. If you ask to train with them, they allow you to. After they're basically they say, well, let me get the set done, and then sure, or like somebody will be like, yeah, I got you. You don't see Holg here, but you can see a number of different training implements off to the very far side. I'm not going to be able to describe it better than Witcher does, but essentially it's like an obstacle course in which when it starts up, a bunch of stuff moves, and it's basically the Witcher obstacle course where the goal very obviously is to train your dexterity and your ability to move in the way that you so choose in order to get through this course. You don't see people on it very often, and those that do more or less get knocked off instantaneously. Don't have a good time, get laughed at, and move on. Does not look like, and when they get knocked off, it's not an easy knock. It's like they get fucking launched for 15 feet. Depending on what hit them. Either that or it's like a swift and sudden drop to the ground. You also notice that several of the people that are training with the sword, occasionally you think your eyes are playing tricks on you because you see a person make an attack like overhead, and then you think that that's where it's at, but when the person blocks, they block low into the side, and that's where the blade met. And it seemed like something skipped or something wasn't okay. And it happens more than once to where you're pretty sure that it's not just like you seeing something.
There's a glitch in the matrix.
That's the best description I can give it. Is like you watch this, and then when the sword hits, they're not here, they're here, or they're not stabbing, they're slicing, or they block up and are already parried. But there's a series of stuff that doesn't seem to make much sense. Save for that, at this training area, there's not much going on. That's like that and the obstacle course are the only two things that are really like, what the fuck was that? You do ask about Shauna today. You're told once again she must be back tomorrow because she won't be gone for very long. And this will be the longest that she had been gone for. Like if she's not back tomorrow. If anybody else would like to do if you'd like to do anything during this day, otherwise we can move it to the next.
I would ask around about Holg at the training hall and just the various places that we're going to, and to see if anybody has heard of him or knows him.
Yeah, and you describe him to a couple people. Nobody seems to know this man.
And then, of course, I would try the obstacle course because it's there.
Okay, so
Is it like Kung Fu Panda?
it's not. It's like Witcher. If you've seen their obstacle course,
Yep.
it's like that, where it's like a lot of jumps, a lot of quick and dirty dives. As you begin to get up there, and I'll say Orica does come over and he's like, if you want to do it, man, sure. But he starts up this machine. He pulls a lever. He starts up this machine. Things start swinging. You start climbing up. It's going to be 7 dexterity checks or 7 strength checks, whichever you'd like to do. If you choose strength,
saving throw.
you can use acrobatics or your save.
Okay.
If you choose to use strength in either athletics, you can't athletic your way through that without. So if you choose to use athletics or strength, you'll get bludgeoned by these things, but potentially stay on is essentially what that check would be.
Gotcha.
You can try to muscle through it, and it might work. Or you can. I mean, you're a monk, so you'd probably not do that. But as soon as from the ground, as you're watching this happen, the things are swinging, the gears are turning, everything is moving, and it doesn't look that bad. But then you get up there, and things are crossing each other, and it seems like a lot of it's blurring together because of how fast things are moving and how many different pieces are moving all at once. But go ahead and make your first dexterity check. Let's see how far you get.
Okay.
Level ups and then between
17.
all those,
Yeah.
17.
17. Okay, so you do get past there's essentially a pillar in the middle that spins around, making jagged movements, and you duck under one and get past the other. That'll be your first check, and you have especially you have basically no room before now in your next obstacle. Go ahead and make your check.
19.
19. As you get between the next obstacle is a series of swinging bags that are essentially a wave of them moving all at once. And if you go at the right time across this beam, you can make it. And you do. It actually kind of helps that you almost lurch into it after you get past the spinning posts. Go ahead and make your third.
20.
20. People are starting to lose their minds as you're beginning to go through this course and actually start to make progress. You've seen other people get knocked off well before this. You've seen a couple people get a little bit past this. And with... I'm running out of cool shit, so we'll go ahead and go to the next check.
20.
Okay. That's 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
12.
12. So, we'll say with a 12, what you'll have to do is there's an open and closing thing, and then immediately after that, you'll have to somersault roll through in order to not get knocked off by, like, so there's an open and closing thing, and then, have you ever seen those things where they dance in between the sticks, and they, like, that's what's coming for your ankle, if you don't get off in time, and you don't, and it claps your ankle, and because of that, your momentum forward makes you fall off over this thing. You do take a negligible point of damage. 1.
Take that damage.
As it claps your ankles, and you're like, oh my god, that hurt. But a couple people are like, hey, you might actually be able to learn here. You might actually be somebody. Maybe. I mean, you failed, but maybe.
Oh, that's fun.
That's
that was
fun.
impressive, Batuk.
How? I'm sorry. When wizards level up, do they just learn a level 2 spell?
You learn 2 spells of your choice.
You
on the
learn-
level
yeah.
that you cast.
Oh, the level you can cast. Okay, 2.
Yep.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
I got practice from the kobold traps on the way in.
Thanks, dude.
Fair.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I'd want to do is ask about Holg, run the obstacle course, and then maybe try to offload the kobold-sized sling and javelin that I have.
So the issue with offloading stuff here is they don't really do money here. It's hard to have an economy when you're so detached from the rest of the world that like everything is basically here for them.
Yeah.
So not a lot of people are interested. They'll take it from you and use it to train if you'd like, but they won't buy it from you.
I'd trade it for a whip.
Yeah.
You got a whip?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll allow that. So,
I can't use it, but I want it.
save for anything else going on this day, we'll move on to the day which Shauna is in fact back. And so you guys are taken to the same office you were taken to before. He raps on the door.
So this is
And-
the next day.
The next day, yeah. Go ahead and roll importance once more. He knocks on the same door as before, but this time you hear a woman within speak up and say, yeah, come. And the door creaks open, and inside you see, in order to, I should say, before I get there, you are taken through essentially every barrier of Dawnscape, so all through the 4 barriers, and she sits not all the way back in where you presume it would be like a safe area, but she sits in an office that's etched into the plateau. And you see, when you walk in, a Goliath woman that's older in her years, with silver hair that falls messily over her collarbones. Her silver eyes match the color of her hair, and
I'm sorry.
There's-
I had to take that call. Are we all with us doing this?
yeah, you're going to meet Shauna.
Okay. Sorry, that was.
You're good.
Also, hit points from fast, so just letting you know.
You see, she's got tattoos that go from the bottom of her jaw all the way up in solid lines and go up all the way through into her hairline of solid jet black. And she wears an icy blue cloak with a white fur line on the top of it that appears to be similar to like one of the wolves. Nice. Now it's coming back to you. Yeah. It appears to be one of the wolves that you might have killed, or similar fur. And beneath that is a very simple tunic, and there's a badge over her left breast. And the badge is an ice pick through a dragon's head. And this is Quartermaster Shauna Gordon. Her office is actually embedded into this mountain, and exposing the ice chair that she has etched out. The room itself is actually colder than it is outside by a significant margin.
And by this time, we are level 3, right?
Yeah, you're level 3.
Okay. Real quick,
Yeah.
I speak into the heads of Atosh and Katz, because I can't remember his name.
Batuk.
And Batuk, yes. And Corbin, because I can't remember his name. Cray. I speak into their minds. Hey, just testing this out. Just making sure this works.
What?
You don't
This
have
is
to say
before,
anything out
before
loud.
you go to...
Yes. You don't have to say anything out loud. We can hear each other's thoughts and message each other telepathically. But just us three. Well, 4 total.
But just as
Right. Alright.
So we don't have to say anything out loud if we want to keep any secrets.
Right. Alright.
For an hour.
I think
Thanks.
secrets, but also say out loud secrets.
Exactly.
Secrets.
Yes.
Oh!
Is there something you want to share?
With the group?
Out of my bag of holding, it's a mask, and a skull appears. Little skull.
Did you
mask.
put that in there?
It's my class feature.
Oh,
My
yeah.
Way of mercy.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll say that comes
been
out.
holding on to that, huh?
What kind of mask is it?
It's like it's literally made of actual animal bones, and it's a skull shaped mask. But it really only covers like this, and then down the sides. So like the mouth is open, the eyes are open, the nose is open.
Okay, cool. Nice.
Man, you guys do cool shit, and I just can't get drunk anymore.
Yeah, dude.
Can I see Strixhaven, please?
Yeah.
It's like I do good shit beyond that, but
have it. It's here somewhere.
largely
Yeah.
just can't get
It might
drunk
be upstairs.
anymore.
There it
It's
is.
like right in the middle.
Classic right in the middle.
Sorry.
Is this the newest book?
One of, yeah.
There's a book that literally came out like yesterday or whatever.
Is there?
Yeah, it's a monster manual that I didn't buy.
With the dolphin in it.
Actually, probably should just.
There's a dolphin in it.
I
That's
will
all I
eventually
know
have
There's a
about
bought it.
dolphin.
I will eventually buy it, but I do have
It's like
it.
called the
on-
Delightful Dolphin or something.
Nice.
It's some kind of fey dolphin.
So
Anyway.
the last thing of note in this room is that you see the ice of the mountain behind her is clearly openly faced. It's much colder in here, and you also see behind her the same silver drake that you saw 2 days prior.
Same silver drake?
At least it's a silver drake, and you just saw one 2 days ago.
Don't see a ton of those around here, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
guess it's the same one.
And you are in front of the quartermaster, Shauna Gordon. And she goes, yeah, she barely looks up, sees that you're new people, and says, yeah, what can I help you with? As she's clearly making notes of something that I won't speak about.
So, do you know the whereabouts of Hold? I knew that last I knew he was here, and I haven't heard of him. I haven't seen him
Hold.
around here. Half orc, but
Closes what she was working on. Puts the quill down
Leathers.
in the puts the quill down in the inkwell.
If you know him, you know him, you know?
Pushes this book over to the side.
You know.
Takes out a large book, and on the front of it, the rest of you can read. Can you read?
I technically can. I know all the letters.
The rest of you can read that it
I know simple words.
says
Know your
militia
sight
on it,
words.
and she begins to flip, and she says, "How long ago did he come here?"
He probably arrived 3-4 years ago.
3, 4. Okay, let's see. And she continues to flip until she gets to, you see a series of dates and a series of names, and it's not the biggest tome. It's it is about a size like this. And she flips most of the way through, and she begins to flip back and forth through her clearly her notes. And she eventually says, "Okay," closes that book up. When did he came here for what? And she grabs another book and begins to leaf through
My
that.
understanding is that he came here to train.
Came here to train. Okay. And she grabs a third book, but she sets it off to the side and begins to look. And eventually she closes that book. Takes maybe 2 minutes to leaf through to where the dates match up to where you're talking about. Puts that to the side, takes the third book. And this third book is that big, but she only flips a couple pages. And she goes... I'm looking for his last name. Oh, there he is. Hold Parmouth? And that is.
Yes.
And she looks down, she looks at you, and she says, well, hate to break it to you, Hold Parmuth never showed up. Was supposed to, though. Hands you the book.
Ugh.
And
I take a look at this, and I can definitely read this.
Holg.
Holg?
Yeah, you can read Holg and a date.
I can read
There's
Holg.
actually Holg's name 3 times.
Mhm.
You can't read
And
the
3
date.
different dates that are on there. And if anybody else looks and reads, you see Hold Parmuth, Cursus Imperium, and the date was 38 years ago. You see Hold Parmuth, Great Bay, 14 years ago. Riak Consortia, Hold Parmuth, Riak Consortia, 5 years, just over 5 years ago. And takes it back from you after you look it over and says, yeah, he was supposed to have come. The Riak Consortia were supposed to bring him. Clearly never made it. Frankly, I don't know where he's at, but he's supposed to be here for sure.
Why was he supposed to be brought
The
here?
Who Consortium?
The Riak Consortia, that's the people to the No, the Cursus Imperium's to the west and the Riak Consortia is to the east. As long as I'm not
I know we
as long as I'm not flipping it. So
Yeah.
essentially, she read off the east, Great Bay, and the it should be the west. So Riak Consortia is in the west, I believe. Let me make sure that I didn't flip them.
So Cursus Imperium is the one that we think
They're to the east. Yes.
the dragon.
Yep.
people- Yeah.
So they're to the east. So yeah. So the last place was 5 years ago from the west, and she says, he wasn't coming to Dawnscape. He was being put here. Among its other purposes, Dawnscape is a prison, and he was supposed to be here. Never made it. And I know that he never made it because he would come to me and I would have imprisoned him.
That
Who
doesn't sound
exactly
right.
is this friend of yours, Dan?
It's Uncle Holg.
He's a criminal?
Just so you're aware, these are banishments from these places and these dates that I was told by a ranking member of each of their government.
He's
So
been
he's been banished
triple
from
banished?
everywhere?
That's what. That's
No.
why they come here, to this prison here.
So that's why it's so defended like this. It's not to keep people out necessarily.
No,
to
it's
keep them
both. It is both.
How is a criminal
Now that I
going to
know
help
that,
us
would that
save
jog
a
any memories
lady?
of me hearing
He's
of this
done it before?
person?
You can make a history check.
Just
How the fuck
being
did that
criminal.
Fucking boss.
Yeah, you can make a history check.
He may have done it before he was a criminal.
He's not behind bars, clearly. If he was behind bars, he'd be here.
20.
20. So, with that, I will say you're not familiar with Holg. However, you are familiar with Dawnscape as a prison, and you know that basically what is given to you already with a little bit more detail. So,
Oh, we call
As-
this the ice box.
if you and your compatriots want to call it that, you can definitely call it that.
That's why
I'm gonna say
Dawnscape.
I'm gonna say you actually know a little bit about Dawnscape, and their primary purpose is fighting styles that are specific. You don't know what you've heard that there's a specific magic and a specific fighting style incorporated here that is taught here and exclusively here, only here. You also know that this place is not a place that people are routinely. They don't routinely come here and get this training. And the last thing I would say is you also are aware that Dawnscape was originally formed when the war started. It serves as its own entity that, like, it started as like a fuck you guys will make your own country, and they just went to bumfuck nowhere and made it happen. And it subsequently became a place where if you need to sequester somebody, you can bring them here and they'll be safe, as long as you can get them here. That's more so what you would know it for. But primarily Dawnscape is a bastion for refugee and a prisoner for the very wicked.
What a mix.
Cool.
I can't believe we came all the way up here for a criminal.
No, that something's wrong. That's not
Banished 3 times?
I've spent my life trying not to come to a place like this, and now I came here willingly. And the son of a bitch isn't even here. That's not in my mind. That's out loud.
It's got something's got to be wrong. No,
You'll have to take it up with the people that sent him. I mean,
So Uncle Hoagie's been gone for 3 or 4 years, basically. He's been missing. He never
he was
made it
supposed to
here,
have showed up about 4 years ago, yes.
and he went missing. So yeah, he's a
Yeah,
popsicle. A meat popsicle.
Either that
No.
or he never even made it to the Crystalline Pass because he escaped before getting this far. And he's just
I will say that
somewhere.
it's not exactly the first time, and it would be the Riak Consortia's job to enforce the banishment and bring him here. So he's probably wanted there. Obviously, cannot be anywhere else legally, and
Great.
what did you need him for?
So he was a adventuring member with my uncle.
I do know of that.
Mm-hmm.
Your uncle is with Holg. Well, he wouldn't be with Holg. I was
Dan-
told that he's the only banished. So at least he's alone in it. Your uncle doesn't seem implicated.
Yeah. Daniels.
Sure.
And she looks at you and goes, I know of the Iron Five and Daniel.
Yeah.
I know who they are. They've been here years and years ago.
Yeah.
Uncle Mike.
They were good guys.
Everything
It
okay?
seems something changed with at least this one. I can't attest to any of the other ones. They are not.
Found out
Around.
he's in prison.
They're not in this prison.
Uncle Hoagie was sent here for banishment because he was banished from 3 countries.
all 3 countries, the only 3 countries that exist
The only 3
Oh,
countries on this
on this
on
continent.
this
Only
continent.
3 countries.
And
that
he's been
matter.
missing for 4 years. He never
He
made
is
it
a
here.
criminal. We came all this
Oh.
way for
For no
a
reason.
criminal.
Hey,
we can't
they
even
got
help
something
us.
wrong.
Itosh would be just whatever.
You-
just
You hear your rogue in your backstory that you barely knew.
You also
Gotta
did,
use it for something.
we also did hear
Using
that
it.
there was
Yeah.
special magic and special fighting styles that are
Your
taught
Uncle
here,
Hold,
so
you taught me how to throw knives.
Sure did.
might not be a total
Sure
waste.
did. 20 years ago.
Yeah, he taught little 4-year-old Dan how to throw knives.
Sure did.
Okay.
So, what did you needed him for what?
So he knew the location of Onyx, and we needed the help of Onyx.
So wait, we came up here to find a guy who can help us find someone else?
Not a guy,
You-
a sword.
The Sword of Onyx.
Yes.
I feel like I've been taken for a
I
ride.
feel really taken advantage of.
Well,
Yeah.
the sword.
He
I-
told us we were
I did
coming
s-
here to find a guy about it, to see a guy about a sword.
The sword,
did say those
should
exact
say,
words.
is never been here. I would know, and frankly, I would probably have it myself. I understand why I don't understand why you would want the blade, but I also understand why anyone would want that blade in specific.
It's part of the family.
Well, it's most certainly not here.
Because I'm looking for a family member and not a
If,
object.
if
Am I
it's all
right?
the same to you, I can let you know if Holg's
Your
whereabouts
family
become
members
known to
might
me,
also have
and I will
been
let you
former
know.
Criminal, are
I'd
they?
appreciate that.
Banished from all the lands.
Oh yeah, we're looking for somebody else too.
Yeah.
His family member.
Maybe like.
I don't know if they're
one-
here. I don't know if they're.
I think their name
We
is
don't have
Itosh.
anybody like him. If
Coach.
they're family to him and they look like him, we don't have.
Are there
anybody
any
like
other
him.
blue people here?
No.
Cool.
Well, there's Janasi.
Ah, cool. Which is just Genasi walking around. Have I seen
One?
any? Is Water Genasi walking around?
You haven't seen them, but she tells you that he's
Cool.
here, or they're here.
Well, someone looks like me.
So are we in a prison?
Human?
Are we prison?
Not very descriptive with
Right.
that one.
Okay.
Right.
They also
you mean
make,
like just like you?
refugees and, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just
Wait, are
kind of,
you also looking for someone?
So yeah,
It's the only
we
place
robbed.
up here, so a lot of things happen here. But they also use
I
it
haven't-
as a prison.
If it's, I mean, I haven't seen
The other
you
countries for, like,
or
their
like
most
the
hated
makings of you.
worst people.
Do you think they'd? I mean, you can leaf through the book and see.
Sure. Yeah, I'll leaf through and look for a name.
And there's a short list of names. It's in total there's less than 50.
I don't see a Xander on
he's
there.
he's not on there.
Okay, I hand it back.
Neither is Atosh. If you cared,
I
cared
didn't
to
even
look.
look.
Okay.
I would. I don't.
He
I
would
would
never.
He would never.
I like hand it and then like
Nope.
no, okay.
I'm looking.
So what
I
do
know where
people
my
do here that are
sister
not
is, all I'm saying.
banished?
Well, as you've probably been made known, a lot of people are here
Just
under
weird.
refugee. A lot of desertion of the war to flee from it come here, and frankly, if they come to try to take people, we come to tell them to fuck off. So a lot of people like it here, and a lot of people will fight to keep that. We have our own little slice of freedom over here, and it's not much, but it's better than being sent off to die to people that don't care about you.
Maybe someday everybody will have that luxury. But I'm sure once I find that book they're all really upset about, that everything will just they'll find some other reason to fight each other, but
People always do.
eventually I'll find that book.
I would hate for you guys to come all this way. If you'd like, I can send you back to where you came or somewhere else. I can help. It would take me a little bit of time and preparation, and I will do the kindness to you to let you know if I hear about Hulk, but I hope that in order to move you from here to somewhere of rapport, you would do something for me.
What do you need help with?
Chance to do.
So, I'm not sure exactly what it is.
Something
That is making, yes, well, what's already dead, but
something killing again.
so to the west, far west, it's a mountain. Within that mountain, there's a bastardly bitch of a white dragon. Not sending you to kill the white dragon. I'm sending you to kill what it might feed on that's close to here. It's a problem because if it starts hunting too far east, it'll hunt this. I'm not having that. So, there's these fucking gnolls that came basically up from the ground. I can't tell where they're from or what they're doing.
And we went into a field house on the way here.
You did.
Left them in pieces.
Sounds like an arrangement to me then, if you would I mean, I suppose if you want, I can just send you on your way. I will still let you know about Holg. I can only take you to a certain couple, I mean, it needs to circle,
Yeah.
but I could send you there.
While we're here, and you may not have too much of an answer given your request, but what do you know about stopping dragons?
What do
That
I
was
know
the
about
other thing
stopping
that we
dragons?
came here for,
Depends on the dragon.
and
Or a giant, scary, nightmare black dragon.
It was-
of some
Oh,
kind.
black dragon.
well,
Like
not
swamp.
black. It was kind of that. I'm trying to remember.
Like a
it was
spooky
like that.
black
It was,
That
purple.
purpley,
Yeah, like a dark, deep purple.
It kind of wasn't it like almost like
like
serpentine?
this as a dragon.
Was it? Didn't it look kind of like serpent-like features almost, or like
Um,
kind of? Or maybe
It had like a longer neck, like
So it wasn't okay.
Yeah, and I just do my best.
it was
to
longer
describe
and
that
more
dragon.
thin. Yeah, it was longer and more thin,
Mhm.
with like very jagged wings. And it did look like an abomination of one. And she thinks for a moment before she says, "Wouldn't be an amethyst, because they wouldn't do that. Maybe a deep. I guess."
What do you know about stopping them? Is that's the other reason why we came? because I know that they've killed a few dragons in their day.
Do you want me to leave her stuff alone for level 3?
Yeah,
Or-
that's
yeah.
fine.
I'm not. Unless anyone wants me to, I'm not gonna mess with it.
I don't know much about Deep, so much that they really like their books. They don't come out often, and
Dragons
This
too
one
big
came
to
out.
read.
I don't
of course
know.
dragons aren't too big to
They
read.
can read. Oh, they
That
can
dragon we saw was really big, though. I can't imagine it holding a manuscript.
Well, the dragons can turn into people.
Dragons
Saw
are
it.
dragons.
That's
Saw it.
no, dragons can turn into people.
So,
The only deep dragon I know of is in Lencap.
that was the one.
Is it the keeper of Langcap?
It likely would be. That's the one I would know.
This one. Also, I'm not just not paying attention. I'm trying to pick fucking spells. So this is the worst part about playing a wizard. I swear to fuck.
I'm looking for my note.
Sure, we'll find some spells.
Map? Do you have a map? Do you have
Yeah.
the map?
I have the Batuk version of the map.
Okay.
It's not on there.
Okay, Linkcap is not on there.
It's not.
No.
So
But
it is.
we were, from our research so far, we were finding that the keeper of Langcap would be in Draco Menso, which is like all
She
the way.
she cements that the one that she would know of is in Dracomenso. She doesn't know. Oh, let me see. Would she know about? Is there a weakness that she might know about?
I take so many fucking damage spells.
She would know that it's. She'll give you that it cannot be poisoned, and its mind is a fortress. But how to kill it, same as any other dragon, you kill the dragon. Simply, take its head
Stab it
off.
a lot.
You make it bleed. You do what you got to do. The blade would certainly help, but again, friend, it's not and has never been here.
What's so special about this sword, anyway?
Yes.
Well, it's
Yeah, it was my uncle's sword, and he told me that we needed to find it. So my uncle, he lost his memory about 5 years ago.
Okay.
And about a few weeks ago, he kind of had a moment of clarity, and he was telling me that, sorry, let me flip back over, that we needed to find Holg because Holg knew where Onyx was, and that Onyx would be unhappy about Tillich still living, and that we needed to fix that.
Who's still living?
Tillich?
Who's Talek?
We've talked about Tillich, but
you
other
guys
than
have
that,
talked about Dalek.
other than that,
I don't know if
Mine
even
was
if you
terrible.
had the notes, I don't think you're putting the pieces together anyway. Let's say it that way. So you guys
Yeah.
remember when he says Talek, the whole fucking war was over the Talek tome, and Talek
Oh,
being the
right.
prophet that was writing essentially this version of the Bible that talked about the dragon that's underneath, and how to release the cosmic dragon. That's Talek. Apparently, he's saying to you that Talek's alive, and the sword itself is not happy that he's alive.
But he's not alive. He's
He-
dead.
he's not. He is alive though. That's
He's on alive.
he's alive.
Isn't it? He's pretty confident that he's historically known as being dead.
But
They murdered him. Remember that?
well, people die and then come back to life all the
Didn't
time.
they throw him into a bottomless pit or something? Like, I don't know about that.
And
And for what it's worth, that is what the history has told.
yeah, We
You said
live
book
in
and
a,
I remembered.
we live in a world of crazy magic. Shit happens. People bring people back. Especially somebody like Talik.
So what does this have? I don't know. I guess I'm confused. I
I-
thought we were gonna save a young woman who was kidnapped.
Yes. And
It
Onyx
does.
will help
It
us
does
do that.
track if you're trying to kill a dragon. The blade serves well to kill dragon, and so I guess, I mean, I still wouldn't feel confident going against a dragon, but at least I would know that what I held works.
Do you know anything about where the sword might be?
The last I had heard of it, it was in the React Consortia.
How long ago was that?
About 5 years ago.
Perfect.
So everything goes back to the React Consortia. So that's probably where we should go next. If we
Well, the
wanna find
Cursus,
this
the
sword.
Cursus Imperium has the dragon. The React Consortia is where Holg was last banished. The blade was last seen.
Yes.
So we get a ride home, and if we help you with this no problem, we get a ride home.
I mean, you're under. We'll take care of the no problem. My scouts have come across where we believe that they would be, and if you're willing to do that for you, I'd be more than willing to do it for. If you're willing to do that for me, I'd be more than willing to do that for you.
Would you be able to send us to the Crystalline Pass? We left our horses
I don't-
with Tish.
I don't know that they have a circle. If it's one that they have, maybe they've put one up. Do you have the circle sigil?
I don't know. I mean, I could draw a circle. I draw a circle on my map in chalk.
Craig just, no.
I mean, I can give you the choice of a
Blue
couple.
screen.
I can give you a couple choices of where to go. You can show up in Commonwealth. You can go to Kadai. You can also.
We left our horses with Tish, yeah, so. we need to get
I mean,
those back.
if you want to go back for your horses, I can't help you there. I can't bring you back to where it needs a sigil. You need somewhere to go.
Right, yeah.
What about Rowan Basin?
I can't send you to Rowan Basin. I can send you to Kadai, Commonwealth, Onendrag, Dracomenso, and Cyroth. No, I'm sorry, Kima.
Oh, we could go fight the
Might
dragon
as well
right now.
go for a second.
Dracomensa.
I mean, we know where she is.
Also, is Holg's home not in Dracomenso? I think it
It
is.
was.
Yeah.
I mean, when he was before he started his adventuring life, yeah, that's where he was from.
Yeah. Well, no, like he still had his home there.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just He's an adventurer.
So
and do
yeah,
not come all the time.
he grew up there and also owns a place there.
Yeah.
Maybe we go to Commonwealth and then get our and then go to Crystalline Pass on foot and get our horses, and then we can go wherever we want.
Isn't that-
Yeah, because she's gonna keep our horses, and that doesn't flow with me, my guy.
How long would it take to
Fucking
get there?
horses. She
from
was taunting me
Commonwealth?
with that bullshit.
Probably
Gotta
not
get
that
horses
much
back.
longer than from Rowan Basin. I mean,
2
I don't know exactly, but
2 days.
And how long did we have for those horses?
2 weeks.
And it would spend 3 days.
3 days.
Did you get back there in time for the horses? Yeah.
Depending on how long the null thing takes, if we do the null thing.
I have a feeling that won't go that long. I mean, you said it's close to here, right? It's not that far west.
It's less than a day.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
plus
guys want-
you've also been here in this is
Yeah,
this is day.
day 3.
Yeah.
So,
So you've
it's been
actually been out for 5 days.
6
Yeah. So it would be a
Or
tough.
5, yeah.
It would be a tough journey to get back to Crystalline Pass if we just walked there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to walk there.
No.
Fuck that. Fuck
Alright, well, what time is it now?
It's I would say it's early start of the day still.
Do we want to go do this
If-
null thing, get it out of the way?
I mean,
and
if
then
you'd
just
like,
leave?
I can send a scout with you. You could take Cold Claw with you. He'll show you where it is.
Sure.
Yeah,
So
so
sounds
That works.
I'm not opposed
You
to,
guys.
to giving a thrashing to something.
Okay.
And then we'll get ready to send us to Commonwealth.
Okay. I will make my preparations. Best of luck to you. If it becomes too perilous, just leave. We will take care of it. We just found the information. So
Do you need anything from them for money? Any
from
stuff
the
you want?
gnolls, if they have money, it's
Weapons?
yours.
I mean, do you want anything from them else?
To not have the,
I mean,
Pray-
besides
She's
being
also
dead,
fucking dead.
but
Right.
I suppose you could find what made them come out and up. I assume that they've come out of the ground. They don't look like they're well.
well, yeah, they're dead.
The notes. I don't look well anyway.
They're definitely
So-
not alive.
Orica, you can take them to Cold Claw, and he will take them to where they need to go. I'll make my preparations. I mean it, though. If either Holg or the Blade come up, I will let you know as soon as I know.
I do appreciate that.
I hate that you've made the trip to find bad news, and I also covet making useful friends, and it seems like you've got good hearts. So hopefully I'm not deceived, but also, again, if you're willing to do this for me, you must be. So good luck.
Give her a nice hearty handshake.
She stands up and shakes your hand, and your hand is comically small in her Goliath hand.
Say it's been an interesting experience getting here. I don't know if I would walk back here again, but I'd like to be here again. It's interesting here.
There are certain people that would know how to send people back here. We do have a sigil of our own.
Okay.
Trusted people. Most of them would be in Kadai, but there is one in Commonwealth that could send you here. We can talk about that before, if you would like to come back. I mean, you're more than welcome, of course. If you need refuge in the future, or you would like our simpler ways, then the only other thing I can offer you, if you would pass the tests, is the training that we provide here for some, and it's a select some.
I think right now we've got a lot on our plate, and we need to take care of some things.
Okay.
Well, at some point, that training does sound very interesting. It is exactly the thing that I think will prepare me for my grand quest.
So we will take a break at you guys going to meet Cold Claw.
Sweet. Trying to pick a fucking spell.
Oh, it still says episode 2 on the BRB screen. Oh well.
What?
Oh, damn it, I
God.
have less hit points than you now.
Yeah, I rolled.
Oh yeah, hit points.
I got 8.
Roll
I got
2.
max.
What'd you ask?
All right.
You asked me a question.
All right, stream. We're gonna call it for the night. Actually, we're gonna call it an early session. We'll be back next week. Have a good